guys, welcome back to my channel. So we have gone through the steps of scanning devices, right? We've gone through the port scanning, and then we went to host discovery, and then we kind of collected information about these devices that we have in this network, right? Like the system, the network that we have compromised, the network that we've found ourselves in, we managed to scan all of the ports. So now what we want to do is we want to compromise systems that we are in this network, right? So let's start with switching on the service of, say, service post GRE SQL, right? What is that? And then say start. So let me say, what is that? The post GRE SQL. So as we said, like this is a powerful open source object relational database system with over 30 years of active development that has earned a strong reputation, right? So this is the one that I want to switch on this machine now. Let me say just switch on that, right? And then after switching on that service, I want to list the folders and files that are within this Kali machine. So let's see, you can see we have different files and folders. How do we know which ones are files? So they are color coded. So I'm not in a Linux class. If you already have like the basic understanding of Linux, you will know the difference between folders and files, right? So I want to quickly open this file, and then because you'll be asked like to submit some information for challenge number, is it challenge number 5? If I'm not mistaken, yes, it's challenge number 5, where you'll be asked to submit information, and that information is inside this file. So let me say cat or, so cat is like I want to display contents of this file, so .txt. As you can see, that's what's inside this file. So you can copy this number and then paste it on challenge number 5, right? And then the other way of displaying information of a file, so we can say more, and then let's say sample flag. On, if I could type, come on, flag.txt. So you can have those two options. So that's Linux, just the basics of Linux. And then now what I want to do is I want to change the directory to Armitage directory. Armitage, so we're going to be using Armitage, right? Armitage is used for, so Armitage is a graphical cyber attack management tool for the Metasploit project. So that visualizes, targets, and recommends exploits. So if you've gathered information, you want like tools that will recommend the exploits that you can take, right? So Armitage comes in handy. So we have moved, so CD is for changing directory to Armitage directory. So I've changed that. So Kali Linux comes in with an inbuilt Armitage. So if this is your Armitage there, but I want to use the one on the terminal there. All right, and then what I want to do is to switch on the Metasploit tool, right? So the Metasploit interface, right? So I will do that by typing in MSF console, right? Just to have the Metasploit interface. So you will have access to that interface. Okay, there is the information. So you can see MSF were inside. So let's say you're taking an exam like your pen test plus exam or your CH exam. Once you see this MSF and then greater than sign, just know that you are inside the Metasploit interface. So Metasploit is a project, computer security project, that provides information about security vulnerabilities and aids in penetration testing and intrusion detection, signatures, development, all those things, right? So how do you start up the Metasploit interface? You start it up by typing MSF console. So I'm inside there. What else do I need to do once I'm inside there? So now I can type in the command to begin a database Nmap scan, right? So I can type in db-nmap 192.168.1. Star for everything, right? Just a star, it will scan all of the, so this Scan will take a while, like 5 minutes, I think. So let me. So you see, the scan is done, right? Scanned which devices. Let's see if they make a trace of that device, and then also scanned this one here. These are the ports for this one. All right, so the scan is done there. So let's see how many minutes did it take the scan. So scanned in 212.44 seconds. So it takes time for the scan to complete, because I think we're scanning about how many devices, all the entire network, right? So all right, so now next thing will be, let's say so let's say we want to move to our Armitage tool, right? Say Armitage, right? And then you will see this dialog box says host there 127.0.0.1. If you've done networking, you know that's the home IP address, right? Then connect. Say Metasploit RPC server is not running or not accepting connection. Yes, would you like me to start? Please start one. Okay. Alright. So as I said, that the Armitage hacking tool is used to visualize targets and recommend exploit. So you can see now we're visualizing our targets. So we have a 30, we have a 20, where are the other ones? Supposed to be 4 of them. Alright, so we have those. We have 2. We're supposed to be having 4 of the systems there. And let's see, is it done or still scanning? Let me minimize that. Okay, they see. Okay, I don't know why is it pulling up only these 2. So let me just scan this so that we can see the operating system and everything about this this device. So scanning it through. So you can see starting host discovery scans. By now we already know how to do a host discovery scan, right? So okay, the other thing that I can do, let me do this. I'll just click on the side here, say auto layout. Let me say stick, because I'm thinking that maybe some of the devices are hidden behind these, because supposed to be 4 devices there. Okay, they shows us that this is a Linux box. Say auto, say stick, hierarchy. Because I can see some of my devices there. All right, so still scanning that one. Say scan complete in 66.508 seconds. So the minute once the scan is done, then you can move to another device where you can scan the next device. So scan. The scan is going on. Let's see. Okay, I've discovered that, but I'm worried about the other 2 devices that are supposed to be displayed here. I can't see those devices. And I don't know where my device is at now. So we've managed to scan all of those. So we managed to scan all of those. But some of my devices are missing. Let me just say what layout, say stick. So where is the other device? Auto layout. Okay. So we've scanned all of the 2 devices, even though it's supposed to be So this is how you scan these devices, right? So now we need to attack the devices now. We have to attack the devices. So first thing is attacks there. And then say find attacks, we're hunting, right? We'll see querying exploits. We said this Armitage tool is used to visualize data, visualize our devices, just to show us all the devices here, and then also recommend exploits that we can use. So it says attack analysis complete. You now see an attack menu attached to each host in the targets window. Okay, so we have asked for the types of exploit. It says happy hunting. So once I go to 30, I want to attack 30 now. Let's say attack, and then do the miscellaneous, and then Java RMI server. So we need which exploit you're going to use. We're going to use the Java RMI server. That's the one that we're going to use. And then you can see here we have the local port, local host, local host IP address of the local host, and then the port. They are the ports. We're not changing anything there. Then we can click on launch. So these are the automated tools that we can use to attack systems and things like that. Make it easy if you're a what you call script kiddie. If you're new to hacking, you see, system has been compromised. As you can see now, we've managed to compromise our system. Let's see, and then let me just right click this one and then say Meterpreter 1 and then interact and then say command shell. Now what I want to do is I want the command shell of this system. I'm looking for the password, for the username and password if there is any here, so that I can use it to attack other system also. So let me do this. Let me say tail. Tail is used in Linux for displaying the last information from the file that you've queried, right? So let me say tail /etc/shadow. So shadow, this is where the password, the username and password are stored in a Linux system. So you can see we have what flag 5, blah blah. Here's the interesting information about the administrator. Very interesting, something that we can use. So let's just copy that. Something that we can use. As I said, that when you're scanning, when you go doing your scan, you'll find information that you might use, and some information you won't even need. So I think this one is very important for me. Then did I copy that? Let me say copy, and then what else do I want to do here? So what I want to do is blah blah blah, minimize this, and then come back to this part and then say file. I want a new terminal, open a new terminal, and then I want to use John the Ripper to decrypt that information. But first I want to create a file first, right? I want to create a file. So I'll say create a file and then paste that information within the file. So leave paid and then pass.txt. So the information that I copied, I want to paste it inside this file so that I can use John Ripper to decrypt that, and then paste. So that information, my password is here, right? So I want to decrypt that and then say file and then save. Okay, file, and then I can quit. So if I do an ls, I'm sure you'll see the file somewhere. Where's my file? I just created a file here. What's the name of the file? There's my file. So I want to decrypt that using John the Ripper. John. So I'm sure you're familiar with John now. It's one of the tools that we can use to decrypt passwords offline, right? Let's say John the Ripper. What information? Warning detected hash type MD5 crypt, but the string is also recognized as, right, all that information. Where is it? So here's the username administrator, and there's the password, right? So that's a jackpot for us, right? We have one gold there. We have an administrator account. Usually the administrator account you have like the highest privileges. You can access everything within the computer and stuff like that. Install, uninstall. So if you've found an administrator account, you have struck gold, right? So let's see what else can we do. And then let me minimize that. How many devices do I manage to attack? Let me see. So let me just pull up my. So you see now, I don't have my 10 system. I don't have my Windows 10 system, right? Okay, I don't have the Windows server. I didn't manage to get the Windows server. Let me see if I can be able to do this here. Let's say, let me see if I'll be able to attack this. Okay, Telnet is closed. So I can't use the username and password on this system. Let me see where can I use that. So let me do this here and then say login and then pxexec. Then let me try to use that password here on the system. My password, what was the password? So I have a username which is administrator, and then I also have the password which is RD. I think this was our password, and then I want to do a reverse connection. Then launch that. So we've managed to compromise one. Let's see if we'll be able to compromise that system. Okay, done. So we've managed to compromise two systems, but unfortunately we couldn't get the Linux, the Windows server, and then the Metasploitable system, right? Oh, we have the Metasploitable only, which is a .30, and then the 20 is a Windows 10. So we couldn't get like a Windows server, and then the pfSense firewall. So we couldn't get those two, right? All right, so this is how you compromise the system. I know in the movies they make it look easy, but on real life, real world, it's not easy. You gotta go through like all the phases, right? First, reconnaissance, gather information, open source information. We call it the open source information, where I forgot the term though. Yeah, like the one that whereby you just gathering information, open source information, right? And then once you've done reconnaissance, you go to scanning. From scanning, maybe gaining access, and then document it. Like there's so many phases, there's so many steps. But in the movies, you just click two buttons and then you are inside the system.